We begin in the Nicaraguan capital of Managua. Here's ABC's John Quiñones.
I've been a journalist for a long time, and I've seen a lot, and I've also lived a lot. A lot of people don't know this, but I grew up in poverty. I couldn't speak English when I was 6 years old and went to public school. My father was a janitor and a yard man. My mom used to clean houses in the rich part of town. But my wonderful parents always taught me to dream big dreams and encouraged me to never stop believing, to keep my eyes on the prize. It's because of those parents and because of that inspiration that I am the man that I am today.
Hello, hello. Wow. Hello, hello. Hello, Atlanta.
It was tough growing up. When we were migrant farm workers, we'd go into stores and people would follow us around thinking we were going to steal something because of the way we were dressed and the color of my skin and the accent in my voice. So when I do a TV show now or a story now, I know where this is coming from because I've experienced it myself.
John, it's a great idea that you want to be a television reporter someday, but we think you should try wood shop or metal shop or auto mechanics. Thank God for my mother, Maria. She was the one who, against all odds, would say to me, it doesn't matter that you have to take bean and tortilla tacos for lunch when all the other kids are taking their fancy bologna and white bread. What matters is what's in here and what's here in your corazon.
Too often when I look out into the audience, I see fear and insecurity in people's faces. People no longer believe so much in the media, in our government leaders, in corporate America. My hope is to change that with this TV show that I do that celebrates heroes. My hope is to change that with my own story of overcoming obstacles.
My first job in broadcasting was to feed and clean up after the horses in the back of the studio.
They, in a way, see themselves. I mean, here's this guy who somehow made it through his own wits. It gives people inspiration.
But at night, I would sneak into the back room at around midnight, and I would record my voice over and over again because I had a heavy accent.
It's great to hear from someone who's been there himself, who was targeted as the kind of kid who'd never make it. We all go through tough times in our lives when we think, man, it's not gonna work. I'm not gonna make it. Trust me, I've been there.
Looking at a row of tomato plants that for a young 13-year-old boy's eyes seemed to go on for miles and miles. That's what I had to look forward to that day. And my father, Bruno, looking down and saying, Juanito, you want to do this for the rest of your life? Or do you want to get a college education?
When kids hear me give that message, that I was there, that I was that kid, and look at me now, I was able to make my dream a reality, then it gives them hope.
I saw these kids sniffing glue by day, and then at night, they would open the manhole covers on the streets, and they would climb down into the sewers.
My hope as a journalist has always been to speak not to the movers and the shakers of the world, no, to the moved and the shaken. People who don't have access to the media, people who have no voice.
She said, we call them gamines. They're like street urchins. They're runaways, castaways, kids nobody wants. And they live in the sewers. And I was blown away. I said, does anyone willing to help them?
Everyone wants to know, how do we make this world a better place? How do we raise better children? How do we sound the alarm when we witness injustice? How do we help people who are less fortunate than we are? People leave my speeches in tears often, but it's tears of joy, having heard something they desperately needed to hear.